We will be setting up for a coronary artery bypass grafting plus saphenous vein graft harvesting via EVH or endoscopic vein harvest. And as you can see, I've just donned my gown and I'm gloving using closed technique. Okay, now to my right hand. And I didn't include hand washing because you'll know by now how to correctly scrub for a case. And shout out to my 3 runners who also agreed to be part of this video. We have also a learner who is a pro, by the way. So there's my second pair of glove just for prepping. And I just noticed now that my camera angle is a bit up. So I gave the list, and of course, checking the pump set, checking for holes. And once I'm happy, I will acknowledge that there are no holes, and I will be counting with my runners. Can't remember what we were talking about there, but anyway, so let's go through the count. 4 green corners which you've seen, and give it a little shake later. That's the bag clip, and 2, 4, 6, 7 towel clips, 2 ram please. And you don't have to count in this order, it's just whatever I touch I count, and also close. So that's your 10 mosquitoes, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And your clamps, your SEM, your glovers, spoon, lambricate, coarctation, coolie, and cross clamp. Your Papworth retractor, always keep it closed. In case of an emergency, you need it closed. Okay, and I'm missing a tubing clamp, but it's just right there. 2 back ends. And it was pointed out to me where it was. So 4 tubing clamps. Next. So if you've got 15 Dunhills. No, sorry, 15 Spencer wells, and now you have the 15 Dunhills right there. 2 and 2, 4, 5 Roberts, and 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 needle holders. And I'm just gonna get the Codman needle holder, or wire twister as some surgeons call it. And of course your scissors, which you should know the names by now. 2 Lega clip applicators, and I'm checking the tip, screws, handles, and pin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws, and make sure that the wire cutter is working. So 2, 4, and 6 forceps. 3 pump sucker ends, all have different names. 2 split eye probes and 1 hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it's go time. Now, let me just say that this is not our own cabbage pack. This is Hairfield's pack, so it's gonna be a surprise what's in here. This is the first time I'm gonna set up with the Hairfield cabbage pack, so I don't know what's in here. And one thing to note is always to open the pack or the table cover that's nearest to you to avoid contamination. And I put there the table cover. You see how I opened to my side first to avoid contamination. And now I'm gonna square it. And I'm gonna look for another table cover later. A rubber band. And I knew that they have a twin bowl cover from setting up other people. That's why I had 2 bowl stands, which came in handy. But we can work with just one. I just don't want to waste it. As you can see, we have 6 towels. And of course, I'm getting my mayo stand cover. Now, this is my technique. There are other techniques, so I just opened it first, if you noticed. And then, of course, the up-down technique. Up, down, by yours truly. And tucking in the sides first. And tucking the one nearest to me. And remember, guys, setup is everything. So open the table cover and square it out because you don't want any creases. Okay, let's continue. So that's just me throwing away unnecessary table covers. I don't know why the hair-filled pack has so many table covers. And as usual, if you've seen in my last video, I increase my real estate first, or my space, and then get my essential instruments while my runners are opening stuff for me. So I know the towel clips will be there, mosquitoes. And this pack doesn't contain kidney dishes, so you will need at least 3 of them. And of course, bowls or pots, whatever you want to call them. And you'll need a jug. And then I asked one of my friends who also works in Hairfield as an agency nurse. They said they have what we call coat and coat, a bowl pack, which has the bowl and all the kidney dishes and the pots. So that's why this pack doesn't have it. So if you can see, I put all my light handles in one place. It's for easy access. And I'm putting my BP handles there. And then next will be my forceps. Put there. Now let me remind everyone again that this is not the only way to set up. I just developed my own technique in setting up through trial and error, and yeah, you will find out your own, what works for you, what doesn't. Try to get every good thing that a scrub nurse does and put it in your practice. So I know I'm not gonna use those long BP handles. No, not BP handles. Long debakey, so I'm putting it there. So my 3 pump ends are there, so they are ready. Next will be my needle holders. So I'm not gonna use those. Julia needle holder, Mayo, so microvascular and Rochester stays. And then my clamps, cross clamp, always there. Now I'm gonna put my spoon for glovers, and then my 2 side biting clamps right there beside each other. away with those. We used to use them in the past when we were prepping, when we don't have the prep sticks that we use now, which are infused. So what you saw just there is all my wire stuff, aka my Spencer Wells, my Codman needle holder, and my wire cutter in one kidney dish. Now I'm just distributing my scissors. There. Yeah, all my scissors are there. Then I will need, and the ones that I don't need, I will put here. And next one, my right angle and Roberts. All my Roberts will stay here from the beginning. And then when we're on bypass, I don't expect any Roberts to be used. So I just keep 2 Roberts and 2 tubing clamps handy on my Mayo stand. And as you can also see, I have my Brock's retractor there, or back ends as we call it, just before sternotomy. And then I try to push everything on my right hand side like that to free up my middle bit. And I take a green corner, make it useful so they won't fall down. And then cover them with my blue towels like so. And like that. And then the hair-filled pack has many blue towels, so I do this. I put it there and roll a sushi roll. Like that. A sushi roll like that for my instruments. Which you'll see in a bit. Okay, my mosquitoes will rest there. This is just a small deviation from what I do, because the Royal Papworth cabbage pack doesn't have many blue towels. So if I have in my hair-filled pack, I'll just try to use them. And then the usual, I put my top drape there, Ioban, and as you can see, I'm squabbling through my stuff because I need, you guessed it, an up tape for the neck. I'm not sure if we have an up tape here. And then, so I'm not convinced that there's an up tape, and then I remembered I have much more things there, and then I found one. I found one up tape. So that's that. And then, of course, the U drape or the perigroin drape. Then I usually put my bear hugger there. But when they're doing EVH, I don't put the bear hugger right away for their access, for the SCP's access. And then the swabs that this pack has is not the same as what we use. So we open extra swabs, which is just a waste, really, from the swabs that are in the pack. Because our surgeons would not be able to do what they do, and they're not, we don't want that, because they pack it in such a way that they expose the heart to their liking. So you saw there my 4 preps and my top glove before prepping. I put it like that so that I won't forget to put on my top glove before prepping. You see all the swabs that I can't use, so I just put it there and forget it. And this is one bag that I like, it's so big, for all your rubbish needs. Put my bag clip there. And that's it. Now my swabs. Just there. For counting later. One good thing about this pack is that they have many crepe bandages. So you have your line holder here. And the plastic I use as my needle packet rubbish bin. So we keep the needle packets just in case there's a mismatch of counting. So what I tell my runners is that if the counts are correct, it's because of the runner. Because they've added the right amount of stuff. But if it's wrong, sorry to say, it's because of the runner. And we must accept that responsibility and uphold counting to a really high standard for counts to be correct. But the responsibility is both scrub nurses and the runners. So I gave out the shods because it's too small for me. So I decided to switch my bag to a much posher one. So this is my plegia line to deliver cardioplegia. So if you noticed earlier, I took off the cap so it's ready when I put it in. And then connector, yanker, just put it there. They have 2 yankers because apparently in Hairfield they always do cell saver, and now I'm cutting my shods. Not everyone does it this way. Some might not agree with me, but on how I prepare my shods, but this is how I prepare them. I always prepare 12, so I know that I have 12. So I put my bear hugger there. Almost dropped. And my diathermy pencil. So it's just there. Then remove everything. See there. Wound pads. We have magnetic mat. Now the magnetic mat is not always open, but this is the surgeon's preference, which by the way she didn't use in the duration of the case. So I'm cutting now my snuggers. How I miss our pre-cut snuggers in the past. So I'm cutting both ends because the other end has holes in them. And then I cut them according to the length of my split eye probes. So you can see, if you can see very well, my split eye probes are not the same length. And then there will be remnants of the shods, which I will give out later. You have 2 short ones. Oh, and I dropped them. So it's just there. And while setting up, I'm not going as fast as I would in a normal setup, because that was one of my mistakes in my first video, because it was a bit shaky and I was looking at different directions. So at this setup, I'm just trying to do things in a controlled manner so that for the benefit of the ones watching. And even though I used a different pack where I put my stuff, like my mosquitoes, my scissors, are still on the same page, or same, why did I say same page? They're on the same table. And the shod making, or shod inserting, and as I was saying, I'm putting the rubber shods, but this is not really a main priority if you're running out of time. And as you can see, I still have loads of time setting up. I have my 2-stage venous pipe with me, given by the perfusionist. Sometimes they give this to you outside, but now the perfusionist has given it to us early on. And as I'm just finishing my shods, and I would say it again, if you're low on time, do your shods outside. And I have my antegrade cardioplegia. Make sure you close this white bit always, and make sure the screw is always tight. And in my hand now is the cell saver tubing, and I'm just gonna connect my yanker sucker to that so it's ready, and just place it there. When my second bowl is not available, so just place it somewhere safe. And now I'm just reloading my loading my BP handles, because this pack unfortunately has the wrong blades in it. Well, maybe for Hairfield it's the right blades, but it's not what we use. So I'm just taking the blades that are not gonna be suitable for our case. Shout out to Jude who let me set up kindly and record this. He's a new starter but has cardiac experience. And we have the magnetic mat. Make sure that when you have a magnetic mat, make sure to check all the magnets. So there I have 23 blade and blade 15 that I will use for arteriotomy. I have one extra BP handle, and I'm just gonna get one more BP handle, number 3. And now checking the magnets. Kinda looks like a Lego brick, but it's our magnetic mat. And now just opening the sets. We have the Denver wells, we have the retractor, we have the large blades there, and just put it there. So I usually place it there on that side. And the rakes, the atrial rakes as we call it, 2 blades and balls. The balls with the screw, you must ensure that there are screws inside, and they are used for mitral valve and tricuspid valve surgeries. The H, the key, and 2 bars. And I just prepare the rakes this way so that the surgeon can easily choose, even though we know what rakes will be needed. Sometimes the anatomy of the heart will need a different one from the ones we used to do, or the ones we used to use. And before I throw all of my my green covers, because on the leg we wrap the bandage for cabbage, and if we are doing radial artery harvest, so we kind of do this. There is again no one way of wrapping this, but the main thing that we need to ensure is that the bandage can be unwrapped with just one hand. It's for the ease of use and of the SCP. And now we have the mammary retractor, and this can be used for the left or right internal mammary artery, and now it's set to be used for the left internal mammary. So the big one first, then the smaller one, or the longer one first, and then the shorter one. Okay. And then now we're just setting up some more. And we have the coronary set, and we have 3 bulldogs. With there, I always put the things same way. We have 3 Potts scissors. We have 2 probes, 1 Watson chain, and 2 Geralds. Your coronary set is always the same. It's gonna be always the same stuff inside there. So one of the things that we always use in cabbages. And the leg set. So pro runners would open the leg set last, because when we are counting it, we will be setting it up at the same time. And this one, the hull saw. So the hull saw would be the one usually should be the one on top of all the sets, because if the patient crashes and if it's a virgin chest, we need to use the knife, hence loading the knife first and then the hull saw to do sternotomy. And I put it on safe, and I put the guard and the key, which I always put in my sharps pad. I have very keen runners right there. And making sure that the blade is facing away from me for safety reasons. And this is one of the surgeon's coronary set. So all surgeon coronary sets are different. So I would suggest that if you don't know, or if your runner is new, have them read it aloud to you. So we have 2 needle holders, which are on my hands, 160 and 170, and it's ratcheted, if you can see. So I think I'm just trying to explain to them. And then we have the ring tip, and we have 2 scissors, the forward and reverse coronary scissors, and I always put them in a kidney dish so they are safe there. And I have 1 tag right there, because I remember this surgeon always uses blue. In my opinion, the blue clip should always be in the pump set. Just in my opinion. And see, just wrapping it nicely. And then I'm getting ready to set up the leg trolley. So I want you guys to remember, whoever's watching this video, that setting up is a skill that you perfect over time. And as time goes by, you will be quicker, you will be more efficient in setting up. Then I just spotted a tiny hole in my glove, which would compromise sterility, and that's why I wanted to change. And now the open technique. Now if you will use this technique, make sure that you're very meticulous in your gloving technique. And now counting the leg, 1 2 3 4 5. For EVH I only use 5, or I only prepare 5. Our own Royal Papworth cabbage pack has 2 rubbish bins, one for the leg and one for the chest, and for the hair field it only has 1, so I will be using the diathermy pouch and 1 bag clip, and I have there identified a wrong needle that's there. That's for the chest, and that one is also for the chest. 2 ties, 2 needles. I'll be counting the leg set: 2 downhills, 2 4 6, again 2 downhills, 2 4 6 8 10 12 14 15, so total of 17 artery forceps, 2 downhills and 15 mosquitoes. And that's always in the leg set. One of you to memorize, and we need a kidney dish for that. And you see the white stuff, white clamps always needs, they're always closed. And now I'm just fiddling about. Can't remember what's happening at this point. Oh, I asked for a kidney dish to put my 2 downhills and 15 mosquitoes. And now you're gonna see why the leg set should be last. My jug will be there. I'm just fiddling about, and I have the ribbon gauze, and this ribbon gauze is used by this specific surgeon, so I'm checking as well the screw pin and handles and tips are intact, and just breezing through the leg set. Now this leg set is also a staple for saphenous vein graft harvesting, so you should be able to identify the instruments, and if not, drop me an email and we will send you a list, or you should be proactive to get the list. Just snap a photo of the list, but you'll memorize it in an instant for sure. And the leg cover there, because we cover the other leg, and we have the camera drape beside it, 1 blade, and I'll just open this sharps pad for the SCP. So we want it all prepared when they say they're ready. It's a vital job, a vital role that scrub nurses play and the runners play. Because as Mr. Wells said, and I've said this in my first video, setup is everything. And now I'm opening the EVH essentials. We have the fiber optic light lead. We have the CO2 insufflator tubing. And in a moment, we will have the camera. Oops, another camera sleeve. It's okay. We'll just keep it here in case we drop it. And the camera. List, and then the camera we will be taking out of its cage. And now that is it. Just the main EVH kit. And now we will be counting chest countables. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strings. In the Royal Papworth pack, we have 6. Anyway, we can start with 5, no problem. Okay, and we'll be counting. And now this is just standard counting, and I fast forwarded the video just for the interest of time. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time. And this is again a CAPG plus Saphenous vein graft. Thank you.